Hello, making a video, and I need to talk about President Rodrigo Duterte from the Philippine Islands. And I am a complete fan of this man, and I am in awe to see people like him, and also like the Saudi prince, and also Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. I love to see people who have guts, who have the guts to stand up for what's true and what's good, instead of dancing around the bush and dancing around the subject and appeasing people, and in the process of appeasing anyone, most people lie. So these people, the Prince, Vladimir, Duterte, and Trump, those people, they don't do that. They don't appease anyone. They're not there to appease anyone. That's not what this is about. That's not what life is about. Life is not about to appease anyone. Life is not about to say, I'm sorry I put lipstick on my Buddha figure. Sorry. That's not what life is about. That is not what life is about. Life is not about giving in to some cranky religious fanatic poops out there. Okay? That's not what life is about. Life is not about political correctness and to appease some assholes and to say, sorry, I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings. That's like, hey, you're talking to their egos, you're like appeasing their egos, like, sorry, all of you egos, that I put lipstick on a Buddha figure. Sorry, whatever, sorry, I put mascara on Jesus Christ figure, or sorry, I dressed up Mother Mary, or sorry, I did this or that. Sorry, I took the thorny crown of the Jesus figure. I meant well. I wanted to save him from bleeding, but I'm sorry I hurt your egos, because I know your egos love the blood and the torture. So I'm so sorry. Like bullshit. Do away with that total bullshit. Okay, I don't want to see it anymore. It goes against my taste. It's like, it just makes my hair stand up on end when I see it. Don't do it anymore. Don't appease anyone anymore. Okay? Be you, okay? And don't apologize for being you. The real you, the creative you, the maker, the shaker, the beingness that you are. You don't have to apologize to any shithead out there for it. Okay. This is I feel very passionate about it, as you can see. It makes me real mad when I see this. When I see this happening. Yeah. It's just so cringy. To see shithead haters asking someone to apologize, or becoming cranky for their religious bullshit being challenged by something that wasn't even meant to challenge it. And what makes me even more angry is when people give in to that. When people give in to this bullshit. I'm sorry, Papa Dog. I know they don't know better. Papa Dog's always telling me they don't know better. They don't know better, but now you know better. Because I'm making this video, okay? So, now talking about this, out in the open, shine the light on it, pour the garlic of truth on it. Now you know better. Now you know. So, because I'm telling you, okay, so don't appease a hater, don't appease a religious nut. It doesn't matter what religion this person is coming from. It really doesn't matter. I like, yeah, I'm upstairs making a video. In a minute, I'm gonna make you pasta. Oh, thank you very much. And he's up there with you? Yes, he is. So I like, there's a lot of things in Buddhism that I love, okay? A lot of things. It's a very yogic, it has lots of wisdom, it has lots of practices for us. It's about mind practice and all of this. But when it becomes fundamentalist, when the moment it becomes rigid, the moment a monk can't touch a woman's skin because then he is dirty or something, that's where the problem begins, okay? Or when you can't have fun with your Buddha sculpture, you know, when you can't take your Buddha sculpture, or if I can't paint a Buddha sculpture and make it a little different, or if if we can't be free with these things, you know, that's when the problem begins. That's when fundamentalism begins. That's when the real issues begin. And then people cater to this out of many different reasons. Out of greed, that's the main thing that happens. Greed. You know, it's like greed fucking shit. You know, sorry. It's this greed the greed is so extreme. I have seen it everywhere. I have seen it in the seemingly best organizations. I've seen this shit happen. I've seen it happen with local environmental groups because they had a greedy motherfucking grant writer in there. Yeah. You know, and then because of the greed, they can't say anything, they can't open their frickin' mouth, they can't be saying this, they can't be saying this. I'm being shut off during a hike with some sponsorship people. It's like now the sponsorship people are there. I can't say shit now because the sponsorship people are there, you know. It's like this people goes too far, okay? It's like, man, I want to open up your brains and I want you to see this. I don't know how to do it, certainly not with the F word, but I want you to see this. How am I going to open this up for you so you can see it? See your appeasement shit and your greed, and you know, you don't want to lose subscribers, or I don't know about the individual people. I'm not judging on this. I'm just saying this seems to be happening with most popular YouTube people or people in general, people who have organizations. I saw it was like hundreds of whale saving organizations. I saw the same shit happening. So they don't want to say anything because they don't want to make someone mad. And it's like, you see shit happen, you have to say something. You know, that's what Albert Einstein already said. You know, if you see a crime happen and you walk away, you become equally responsible for it. People need to understand this. You see shit happen, you have to say something. I see fundamentalism happening, and in the course of this fundamentalism, there are beings, living beings, whose lives are made miserable because of this fundamentalism, out of any religion, some worse, some less bad. But suffering happening, okay? When suffering is happening, because of some fundamentalism, whatever religion it is. And people don't say anything because they don't want to make their clientele mad, because they want to keep having their customers and their money and whatever, and their support, and their popularity and fame, or whatever. Then that is what Albert Einstein says. They're making themselves equally responsible for the suffering that is happening in the world. There was an example. It was a very sad situation. There were, I don't know exactly who did what, but I suspected, there's this one grant writer, and I'm not going to name any names. She made shortcuts here and there, took whatever she could get, any kind of situation that would give her the shortcut, would make things nice and convenient for her, even if it made other living beings suffer. She was willing to have the entire wetlands sprayed with pesticides because of her greed. Because Barack Obama hired this, I forgot the name, Zahidi or whatever, to be the head of the Department of Agriculture, who happened to be conflict of interest. Be also the CEO of Monsanto. Now Monsanto is trying to get out from under it, with a lot of people getting mad at them, a lot of people learning about this now. So now they're changing their name because of this. There are so corrupt people in there. It's beyond imagination, the corruption of people that are in there. But they're pushing their products down the line in government. They are using fake and false scientific reports. They are manipulating the Environmental Protection Agency. They have falsified things. They have paid scientists who lie, who make false documentation, false scientific data. Okay. Roundup is illegal in Europe for a reason, because it causes testicular cancer. If anyone wants to know, it's just breathing it in slightly will give that illness to you. Okay, you don't want that. You don't want to go there. I know you guys don't want that, right? So don't go that direction. It also causes breast cancer and many other horrible types of cancer. So that's all we need to know, that the level has increased by over 400%. Okay, so, and it is a direct correlation with the increase of pesticides in general, but particularly Roundup. The actual name is glyphosate. Okay, so, but this lady wanted to spray, and it's just one thing after another. I got that stopped in the nick of time, and I hope that they didn't pick up on this again, because I lost touch with a lot of these people there, and they were all against me because I'm the whistleblower. I will always be the whistleblower. It doesn't matter how unpopular I become. That's also why I have no friends, because I'm a whistleblower. I just hope that my own brother, is not going to drop me because I say the truth. If I can't say the truth anymore, if I can't say to someone I care very deeply, without worrying that it might hurt the other person's feelings or the other person's ego, if we have to be afraid of saying I deeply care about all living beings and the planet. If we have to be afraid of saying this because because there may be some egos that are bruised because of it, because they feel like they don't care as much, and we're setting the ethics level a little higher, and maybe then they're not covered by that anymore because they don't care that much. Maybe that hurts them. If that's the case, I'm not going to shut up because that's my brother. Why should I? Truth is the truth, and compassion and caring is what runs this world. Truth. If that goes against your egos, that I can't be worried about this. I'm sorry, I just can't. If that butt hurts you because you think like, no, I am raising that, I'm raising conscious awareness, and I'm raising ethics, the ethics level, the ethics standard higher, and maybe now you're falling below that. That's not my problem. That is not my problem. Why don't you raise your ethics level? Why don't you all, every one of you, try to raise your ethics level to a higher level? Why don't you do it? Why do you lean back and chill and say, oh, you raised that ethics level higher, now I'm falling below? Well, they would never admit to this, but they take terrible offense because that is, yes, making video, because that is what's going on inside the brain. But they would not admit to this, because then they would admit to that what's happening inside the brain. They don't want other people to see what's going on inside the brain. Man, why don't you first become aware of it for yourself? Become aware, okay? Become aware that the ego is dictating to you in your life. The ego has its fingers in every field. Relationships, the kind of substances you put into your brain so you can forget, If you are a drug addict, anyone out there who's a drug addict, you are causing suffering in the world so that you can forget for a few moments. You cause suffering. I know how hard it is with food. We have food addictions. I know it's extremely difficult. There's a lot of unethical food, and I have fallen back on it. But you cannot compare that to drugs. If you take drugs, you are responsible for suffering. Okay, I'm sorry. If you eat meat, you're responsible for suffering. That's a fact. I'm not inventing this, okay? This is a fact. I made a video yesterday. It was so bad, the video. I made that for my parents and my brother in German. It was so bad, the video. It was like, it reminded me of being a child and saying, can't you see and understand? It was sort of this bargaining type of thing. Like with tears and with sobbing. Can't you see? Can't you understand? But you know what? I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my life. I had to delete that video. That's not what I stand for. That's what I feel doing feel like doing sometimes, like pleading, please see, like I fall on my knees, you know. Oh, if I do this, then I cater to your egos. I'm not going to do that. I don't see the point in doing it. Why should I do this? Please see, you know, please understand, please have love, please have compassion. A petition to psychopaths, you know, oftentimes that's the case when we write petitions, petitioning to a psychopath politician. Please have love and compassion. And he just throws that away. So I'm not saying that my family, this is not an analogy or anything. Just saying that if I petition to an ego, I just gave the ego all the red carpet out for the ego. I said, here, ego, continue doing what you're doing. But you know what? When we love someone, when we really love someone, we don't give in. If, for example, if you have a friend who doesn't wash herself or himself, I had that situation once with a friend, a female friend, and she smelled so bad. We were in a store, and I had to say, look, I said it under my breath. I said, you smell. You need to really wash yourself. You can't let yourself go like this. And I know it hurt her feelings. I know it's awful, it's devastating. But you know what? Not saying it, that would be a real breach of friendship. If I oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings, you know, I don't want to hurt her ego, so better let her be dirty and learn the hard way. Or, you know, I can't tell someone that he needs to quit drugs because maybe he's going to take offense. Maybe his ego is going to take offense. Maybe I shouldn't say that, you know, I shouldn't say to a Muslim, that's wrong what you're doing, killing women, no, because I have to be afraid that I might hurt his ego. I mean, where do we stop, right? Where do we draw the line? I don't draw the line anywhere. When I see crap happening, I have to say it. I say it as a friend. I say it to help. When you see a person behaving like shit, you have to say something. You see a country or a government or a military behaving like an international war criminal, you have to say something. You can't be worried about what other people think or whether you are going to be called unpatriotic. Or this whole word patriotism it doesn't exist in my life. Right? We are universal beings. You are not your flag or nationality or your prestige group figure. You are you. I can't worry about this, you know, getting mad and F-word and all that. I can't constantly worry about this. I'm not gonna censor my videos. I'm not gonna edit them. I say it. It comes from my heart. I say it the way it is. I don't want to say the F word. Sometimes it slips out because some things make me very, very mad and very furious. Yes, Papa Dog. I know. Papa Dog is never mad and he understands everyone. He sees it from a higher perspective. He's more advanced than I am. So I am where I am. Okay. But when I care and someone says, you think you're better than anyone else? First of all, I never said that I am. But you know what? The people who do care, they are obviously behaving better. Okay. That's for sure. That's one thing for sure. If I care about the pigs, I behave better than the person who slaughters the pigs. That should go without saying. I also behave better than a person who doesn't give a crap. Okay? That should also be very crystal clear. That I am behaving better in that moment. When I say I can't stand it. I can't stand the suffering of pigs in gestation crates and all of this. I want to go in there. I want to open the gates of those pig stables. I want to let all of these piggies out. The mothers, the babies. I want to bring them to a meadow where they have daisies and grass to eat and apples. They love apples and carrots. Yeah, that's a better behavior. That should be very crystal clear. I had a very courageous friend. She died in December 2016. I think it was, yeah. And her name was Anneliese, a book writer, a very famous book writer in Germany and internationally as well, Anneliese Ude Peste. And she had written down all of these anecdotes, in German and with her hand, by hand. And then later she typed that into a typewriter, and had these old typewriters. So she had all these pieces of paper flying around and all these anecdotes of different things. Then a publisher, she had already published many books. And so that was towards the end of her life. They put that into 2 little books. So I translated these and I put these 2 little books together into one book called Anneliese's Poetry and Story Collection. And it's on Kindle, and if anyone is interested. But anyway, in these stories that she's telling, there are several stories of extreme courage in those. And what is remarkable in this is that she was a Christian, and she was very fundamentalist. A very fundamentalist upbringing, very fundamentalist, very rigid type of thinking, was against abortion, she was against evolution and against science, and for her it was a terrible threat to look at the biological body and brain from a scientific point of view, and she thought that's terrible. That's sort of like made her fall into an abyss, and she didn't want anything to do with this. So we're just a product, so we're not divine. And yeah, so I didn't know how to explain this better in the past, particularly when I was an atheist. So, but today I know we are parts of the infinite cosmos. This is huge. Okay. But anyway, Anneliese, and that makes it so remarkable in particular, is that even though she was a fundamentalist Christian, whenever she and her husband was a politician and an ambassador, and also one of the founders of the Club of Rome. And so they were constantly traveling around the globe and meeting with important people of influence and so on. And they even went to China and talked to the heads of the government there and all of this. And so, and it doesn't matter where they went. They went during the Cold War, they went to Russia to see a primate center, and it was presented to them by heads of governmental official people. And that story is particularly impressive because they go into this primate center and they show chimpanzees and other primate monkeys in these cages and in very narrow confined situation, even though some of them were together, but they had a climbing tree, but that's all they did. They didn't have much. They didn't have much space to go to. And Anneliese saw this, and all of her fundamentalism, her religiousness was dropped aside. And what came out was her inner child, the real Anneliese, the real person, the real being, the real cosmic child, the real kid of the infinite cosmos came to the surface. And she looked at it and she said, this is unacceptable. Loud and open in front of all of these people, her husband trying to be a diplomat and all of this. And she said, this is absolutely unacceptable. This is cruel. I am leaving. And her husband, who is also a real amazing angel of soul, he said, my wife is 100% right. I am leaving too. And they two left there, and no diplomacy was accomplished. And to me, this is so crucially important. For other people, are they crazy? Are they nuts? They should be this, they should be polite, they should be respectful, they should be, they are sacrilegious, they have disrespected them, they have disrespected peace, they're not diplomatic, all of these things, all of this mind babble would come up, all of these accusations, and all of this would bypass real compassion and real love. And this is what I respect Anneliese and Eduard so deeply for, for when it came to the nitty-gritty, they were right there. They felt it, they felt the compassion, and they acted on it. They had, in the most difficult and tricky situations, they had in the most, with the most prestigious people, the most, where things were at stake, where peacemaking was at stake, where reputation was at stake, and so on and so on. If they can do this, then we can do it too. We can do it too in our much, much less influential situation, in our much less important encounters, and where peace is not the discussion, where we can go to our gardeners, or we can go to any gardener we see and he sprays pesticide, and we can say something. Your life is not at stake, your reputation is not at stake. If they can do it, you can do it too. You can go to your next door neighbor, you see them spray Roundup, or you see a gardener somewhere, or you see road workers and they spray. You can go up there and you can say something. You can say, you know what, you don't have to be mean. You know what you're doing there, that has increased testicular cancer by over 400%. And they might drop this like cold turkey. They might say, are you sure? Okay, I'm gonna put the sprayer right back into the van, and I'm gonna leave, and maybe I'll quit my job. Okay, then you have done your activism. You have done your duty for this planet. Okay, and that's what I want to see in the world. I want everyone to do this. I want everyone to become active and say something. And when you have someone in your family who is doing terrible things or is destroying their bodies, you have to say something. When they don't wash themselves, when they take drugs, when they drink alcohol, when they smoke, when they are rude to people, when they are mean, when they're cold, you have to say something. You can't be, just because you don't want to hurt their feelings, let them continue to be rude to you, or to be disrespectful to you, or to be disrespectful to others, or to continue this life, this dwindling down of destruction to themselves. You can't be silent. You have, according to Albert Einstein, but don't just go do it because of Albert Einstein. according to the infinite cosmos, okay, you have to say something. You have a responsibility to say something to them, you know, out of love for them, you know. You cannot heal yourselves if you continue a lifestyle of destruction. You cannot do it. And if this video makes my brother mad at me, and if I never hear from them again, or if we don't help each other anymore, okay, then so be it. For me, it is more important to say something, to say, you are destroying your body. I'm not okay with it. I am not okay with it. This is wrong. And I don't like the way you're treating people. And I don't like the way you're talking to me. And I don't, just using these as examples. And I don't like the way you're talking to them. And I don't like the way you're handling these things. And you're neglecting yourself and so on. I have to say it. Okay, I can't be silent just because I need their cooperation, or we need to help each other, or this or this or this, you know. If I lose them as my friends because of this, then so be it. That's how it goes, okay? You have to make truth your priority over anything else, okay? You guys take care. Bye-bye.